everybody, welcome back to InspoGAO. I'm Kae and I'm from the School of Fashion Studies
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm from SOM, the School of Music.
and today we have a special guest with us.
Hi, I'm Carmen and I'm from the Marketing and Communications Department.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Okay, Nick,
Yes.
let us remind everybody why they should actually watch InspoGAO.
Okay. Well, I know based on the last one that we did, a lot of people said that they watched it, they got a kick out of watching us talk to each other, but also they got filled in with things like things that are relevant to them in the arts, why we do things a certain way, what are some things we look out for when you want to have a career in the arts, or if you just want to have an idea and find out if this is for you.
Very important question for my guest and for Nick. Maybe there are changes, I don't know. What is your favorite beverage for your mornings?
It will have to be English breakfast tea.
Okay.
Yes! Nice.
No.
Yes,
No.
that tea drinker good.
And it has to be with cold milk.
Cold
Oh,
milk.
that's
Yes. Yeah.
Specific. Okay. Any sugar?
No sugar.
No sugar. Okay.
My age cannot take sugar.
Tea first or milk first?
It should be the milk first and then you put and then you put
Interesting.
the hot water, yeah.
So I think I am outnumbered.
You are a coffee
Am
drinker,
I
aren't you?
in enemy territories. With that, since we already have our important questions out of the
Yes.
way, I mean, everybody knows Nick and myself, but tell us a little bit about yourself, Carmen. What did you do before this? I mean, what are your interests? Who are you actually?
Okay, I'm actually a recent graduate. I came into NAFA as a mature age student. It was a bit of it was a career change. I was 10 years in communications, and then I stopped to have children. And then after, when my children were old enough, I thought, okay, it's time to do something for myself. And that's why I enrolled in Diploma in Fine Art. So I've always been drawing and I've always been surrounded by art. My grandfather was an artist. He was friends with a lot of the pioneer artists. in
Oh, that's
Singapore.
cool, yeah.
Yes, he's famous for painting, for being commissioned to paint the Yusuf Ishak.
Oh, so it
Yes.
has always been part of your family.
Yes, I have never met him, but his paintings were always around.
How cool.
When I was in school, my mother wanted me to go into a degree, and I said, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. I was 18, so I was like, no, I don't want to. I want to do something else. So I actually got my degree first, and that was in media arts. And then, my mother said, you will come back to it. You will come back to drawing, and you'll come back. I said, no, I will not. And then, true enough, at 40 plus, yeah, I decided I needed to.
But what made you come back though?
Yes, really, after 10 years of
Yeah.
looking after children, I needed to do something for myself. I was homeschooling them as well.
Oh, wow.
That is something
wow.
else.
That's
I was
incredible.
homeschooling them, and it was, yeah, I felt that a lot of my life was for them. Everything I did was built around them and for them, and there was nothing that I could do for myself.
And how did you juggle?
I would wake up at 5, and then I'd take both of them to school, and then I would come straight here, and then I would have 1 hour, about 1 hour, 1.5 hours before my class starts at 9, and then in that hour, I would sit at the cafe at the hotel because got aircon,
Yes.
and then to do my homework.
Nice.
So I to squeeze in
Wow.
homework wherever I can.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be quite a challenge for you.
You call yourself a mature student, and I know a lot of our kids are basically rushing to finish their degrees, they're rushing to finish their masters and all that. What do you think are some of the challenges, as well as what are some of the advantages of being a mature student?
So I think with the mature student, there's always that time management. in first year, there's this module called, I'm not sure if they still have it now, it's called General Studies.
Yeah.
And in General Studies, they teach you how to prioritize your time. But the good thing about already being in the workforce before was that, and being a homeschooler, I already knew how to prioritize all
Right.
of that.
Yes.
So I knew, so for Diploma in Fine Arts, the first 6 months is extremely,
Packed.
we have
Yeah,
to learn
it's
a lot of
packed, isn't it?
different,
Yeah.
all the different disciplines. So I needed to know when I can do what, at what time, and where I can fit it in my time, because I also have to help my children with
Yeah.
their homework.
Yeah.
Yes.
And once their homework is done, then my homework comes.
Wow.
So I have to put them to bed and then do.
That's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So a lot of people say that, oh, you do a diploma in fine art and you're just doing things like painting and sculpture making. It's really not the case. A lot of the skills that we learned as creating our art can be transferred to even an office setting. In the diploma, we learned how we had our hands in every single thing. We were not just the artists, we were the curators, we were the light people. We had to plan out where all our art sits in the gallery or in our studio. We were the ones climbing up the ladder and drilling the holes. We were the one putting in the putty, painting. We were the ones that we did it all ourselves. And I think those are that kind of mentality that can be transferred to an office space. So when I was doing open house, that was the thing that I had to do. Things that I was not familiar with, I had to step in and just have that courage to just.
So interesting.
Do
So
that.
you actually have to physically do the things and not just think of the concept. You actually had to put things up and
Yes.
nail things in and
Yeah, we're not established artists. We have to do everything ourselves,
Tell us a little bit more about this open house. I think because for a lot of us, open house is a day where we just turn up and talk to parents.
I'm actually one of 4 in the team of open house, and along with our provost. So we decided to do something a little bit different this year. We did not want to do an open house like we did in previous years. We wanted to showcase a lot more of the students' culture beyond the classroom. So what do they do beyond academics? And that was what we tried to do this open house. So there was a lot of lineup of performances, more like a music festival, and there were some tape spaces outside. There were installations that allowed students to have installations, and they came from all 3 faculties. And it wasn't just the Faculty of Performing Arts that were singing. There was also students from FOAD, from the Faculty of Art and Design, that were also singing. So this was something that we thought was a little bit different from other open houses. Our campus is undergoing renovations.
Right.
So we also wanted to take away a bit of that,
It's a bit
attention
industrial,
away
yes,
from that as well. So there's a lot of colored tape everywhere, and
It was really nice though.
Yes.
I really did like the idea of
Yes.
the colored tape. I think in a lot of ways, the idea of the colored tape could also be a metaphor for multiple
it was
things,
so many
right?
things, right?
Yeah.
So it was really to the tape was meant to not just to make, it was not to make boundaries, was to break boundaries, because tape breaks. And also, the thing about tape is we all 3 faculties use that in all our practices. So
We use so much
yeah,
tape.
there's so much tape.
There's so much tape.
Yeah. And now for a special announcement. Do come for our grad show, which has works from all our graduates. It's called the Grad Expectations, starting from the 21st of April to May. And it will consist of works from FOAD, FOPA, and FOIP. Do come and have a look.
Do you have any favorite moments from open house? Especially because it's your first time, right? With a very lean team of 4. And insane. Any interesting moment? Any favorite moments from you?
I think there were a few. I actually really liked the lineup of performances that happened throughout the day. So I think in previous open houses there was just scattered performances. This was Dane from School of Music planned a lineup, a whole lineup throughout the day, and it was basically like a music festival throughout the day. That was something that I felt this makes the campus look lively.
Yeah.
It's just not one performance
Right.
all the time, and that's what it is all the time. There's always there's always things going on. I also like the tape spaces as well. I think it was a great opportunity for some of the students to bring down their art away from the studio into the public. And it's free, right? It's a free space. You don't have to pay for the space. It's such a great
I do
opportunity
think
for
that's
them.
really important as well.
It also highlights that our mission, the courage to create, that's plastered everywhere on campus. Create it and show it.
Yeah, I realized that you actually just recently graduated from NAFA, which is kind of crazy and amazing at the same time. And you were also the valedictorian that year.
Yes,
And you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I was there to witness her speech, and your speech went viral.
Yes. Just showing up and being present became one of my personal mottos. No matter how crappy I felt, mentally or physically, I told myself, just show up. Because half the battle is being there and letting the work and our peers help carry you forward.
I was there to witness it, and I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, especially when you mentioned that there was a lot of grief around your journey or your process to graduating. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
So, in my final semester, my mom passed away in November. So we started our semester in January, and there were other family things going on, and there were times. In fact, on the first day of class, I said to my lecturer, "This is the first and the last time you'll see me. I don't think I can do this." And I think she was a new lecturer, and she was like, okay. But then the second day came, and I thought, okay, just come for class. And it was a lecturer who had known me for since year 2.
Oh, okay.
And then I spoke to her, and the third day it was another lecturer who also already knew me. And then it just kind of thought, okay, maybe
A little bit more.
this is maybe just keep going.
Yeah.
My hashtag for the speech was just show up.
Yeah.
But the real thing in my head was just show your face and take attendance. At least just go.
At least turn up.
Just turn
right?
up. Yeah, just turn up. And then whatever happens there, we'll see.
Will sort itself out.
Yeah, we'll sort itself out. And my lecturers at the Diploma in Fine Art, they knew about my grief, and they said, "You're an artist. Can you use this to create something?" And I said, "No, I don't. I don't want to touch it. It's too raw. It's too close."
Right.
And they said, "Don't worry, Carmen. We are here to guide you. We are here to guide you to detach. You can do this and detach. Artists do it all the time." And they said, "Don't worry. We'll be here. We'll be here to guide you." And I think my lecturer, I think that was FND, who said that to me. And I said, "Okay, let's do this." But I was going through a lot of things at that time, and then by critique week, I had nothing. And then I was usually always very prepared for consultation. I always had my idea and everything. I already planned it out for the past 2 years. But on my final year, everything was,
No, I think
it was just, And I didn't have anything. And then the day before the group crit, the night before, I thought about something, and then I just sketched it out. I'm like, I don't know if this will fly. And I presented it, and they said, I love it. Go. I'm like, oh, I was like, oh. I was like, you know, when your lecturer approves
Right.
your concept or your idea, then you can run with it. And I'm like, great.
So
that was
I
it.
just wanted to tie back to your hashtag of just show up. I think we spoke a lot about this, Nick, in
Yeah.
season 1, right? When we talk about no matter what happens, you say yes first, you show up, and then you figure it out.
All I did was like, I'll take it.
Correct.
I'll take
You
it.
always say yes.
Yeah, I'll always say
Always
yes.
say yes, then later better like figure out how you're going to figure out in 2 weeks' time how to get it up from there to there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it works.
I think this also shows, number one, courage from your end, right? Because you were going through a lot of things, not just with your mom's passing, other family things. And also, not just that, you have kids, and then you have group critics, and then, deadlines are coming up, everything is piling up, right? How did you successfully channel all of that into your final year project? And how was that experience for you?
That, my final year project was dedicated to my mom. And in memory of her, it had all her things, her personal things in it. So it was very, very difficult going through her things, but she had a lot of things. And we had to go through them anyway. We had to curate them at home anyway, what to keep, what to throw.
Yeah.
And then I had to repeat this process in the studio. So I brought like a huge, giant suitcase of all her things. And again, going through them one by one, touching, feeling, can this work in, can I, because her objects are balanced between Venetian blinds. So is this too heavy? Is this too light? Will it look nice? Will it look pleasant? And then at one point, instead of being my mother's things, it became my material.
Yeah.
It became my material. It became the things that I used to make art. And knowing that these are the things that she used every day. They were her cups, her utensils, her books. And then I put them up, and I didn't think so much of it. You just do. You just create. You try and create. You make it look good. You try to pass. And then on the deinstallation, it all came down. We all have to take them down. And then it became her things again. And then Effendi came up to me and he says, how do you feel now? I said, yeah, for the past 2 weeks we've been installing this was my material. This was my paint. And then now they're back on the ground, they're back to her things again.
But did you feel any form of like catharsis
Yeah.
when you did that? Because
Yes.
that
was that switch.
It's very raw, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you were dealing with grief, and grief is always very hard to process, and it always never hits you immediately. It always hits you a lot later. And that's when it gets quite painful. I mean, knowing a little bit of it from friends and relatives and all, grief hits you a little bit later.
Yeah.
And so you channeled that into your art. And I think it's nice that you said that inspired you. After all, it was your mother who said that you would want to move down. So I suppose that it was only fitting, I suppose, as a kind of like a tribute that you would present her as your final project and say that, you are significant in my life in so many ways.
As a muse and as a mother.
On the day that I installed, there was a rainbow that went across NAFA.
Nice.
So I went downstairs to have lunch. Oh no, it wasn't lunch. It was at the end of the day already.
Yeah.
There was this huge rainbow behind NAFA.
Yeah.
What's that?
If
Someone's watching.
As a mother, and also as part of the institution, right? What do you think your responsibilities are for the next generation?
I always tell my kids this every day. do you like my painting? And then she goes, yeah, very nice. So do you think it just happened like
Magic.
this? Magic?
Ah.
Then she goes, no. I said, what happened? She goes, after you put us to bed, you come here and you do it you show up. You come into this room and do it every night. I said, yeah. So this is what, again, it's the just show up. Don't not show up because you're scared. Don't not show up because you're shy. You just have the courage to just show up. And even if you're wrong, just show up. Even if you've done something wrong and it's disastrous, show up, own up.
Now we have our favorite segment, which is questions from a cup, where there's a very strange and mysterious hand that will pop up from the side, in which Nick will now put his hand in to choose a question. Let us see. Okay, Nick.
Why is that smile? What does that mean?
Oh.
What's the most unglamorous part of your creative job that no one sees? This might be the longest segment now.
Unglamorous?
You could.
Yes.
Wow.
Because I think
Are there any unglam
Yeah.
parts of your job? The bits that we don't see.
Because I exhibited at Singapore Art Week as well,
Yeah.
while open house, during the same time as open house. So the curator says, this day you have to bring your artwork
Ah.
into the gallery. I had to wrap all of it
Yeah.
in glassine paper, bubble wrap, 2 types of bubble wrap, and then your last brown paper. And I thought, oh,
This is not what I signed
yeah,
up for.
like, yeah,
this is not glamorous.
It's not glam, but I thought, okay, that's better than putting it in an IKEA bag and
Yeah, of course.
and bringing it
And
to the
lugging it,
gallery.
no lah. No, I don't think
yeah.
you do that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So when we were at the gallery, also there are things that I think we as artists sometimes we don't think about it, or maybe first time exhibitors, we are the ones that have to hang it up.
Right.
Unless you have an assistant.
Yes, which we all don't. Emerging artists, we are the ones that do everything ourselves.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because there's always the unglam part, that.
Of course. I mean, okay, again, so many misconceptions when it comes to fashion, right?
Always so glamorous, run down the runway.
Hey, if you guys take a look at the runway backstage, it's insane. Okay, not just backstage. And then everybody, okay, fine. Show's over, everything's fine, and then the designer comes out, right? Most of the time, the designers look as if they are about to pass out. Because they do want to pass out. They are exhausted, they and their team, right? So yeah, it's not always as glamorous as people think. People will just think,
Go down runway so nice.
no! All right, for our second question, come on, Nick. Ooh.
Okay, here we go. It's not that bad. I think it's a good question.
Every time you open up the paper, wow,
Why?
I'm nervous,
Now you know how my students feel. Sorry.
0.
That's okay. I'm not going to comment on that. What's something art school didn't prepare you for?
What is?
I was going to say
some-
childbirth.
That is also true.
I'm sorry. So what is something that art school didn't prepare you for?
How you market yourself.
Oh.
I think that they can only give you a very rough guide,
Correct.
and a lot of it you just gotta figure it out yourself.
Do you think that's something that art schools should prepare students for?
I used to think so. I used to say, why is there a module on marketing and entrepreneurship or
Right.
or communications or PR that can help
Branding,
on
essentially.
branding, yeah. In our fine art program, not sure in all the other diplomas, but in the fine art program, But I think it's the assumption that not everybody who graduates from fine art will want to become
Correct.
artists.
How much can they prepare you for really?
Really, yes. You
And how much
have
should you be? How much should you rely on an institution to decide your brand for you? Yeah.
And also the I always say it when we have this module called something development,
Career
professional
development.
development.
Professional
Yeah,
development,
yes.
yeah.
And they asked me, there was a question, and I said, networking. I already have this foot in the door. I'm with lecturers who are already practicing artists. Your networking starts
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
And then once you go out into the galleries, you pretty much see a lot of the same
Things, yeah.
same people, and you're gonna know from someone, and that's your
networking.
network, and
Yeah.
you gotta go out and do it.
So basically, just turn up lah.
You just turn up.
You just turn up
You just
because
turn
you
up.
don't know
You
who's
just
going to
open
be
your
around
mouth,
the
yeah.
corner. Yeah. We tell our students the same thing. It's like we can prepare you for some things. We can maybe teach you how to write your CV, how to write a letter, how to set up a webpage, but you kind of have to do the rest yourself. If you don't want to talk to people or hang around after the show,
Yes.
sometimes you miss out on that interaction that would kind of decide what happens later.
Yeah.
And I think those are. I'm not trying to tell everyone to be just hang around and kind of like linger like a spirit or whatever, but you kind of have to, just get to know who's around in your circle. So what does mastery mean to you in your craft?
To be true to yourself, and not what the industry or what your what other people say you should be doing, and then pushing yourself to keep reinventing, to keep trying new things. I love that courage to create, because there is that point in yourself where you go, okay, I'm going to do it. You can spend months and months researching about which material to use, and then you never actually
Put it to paper.
Your hands never actually get that courage to meet,
Nice.
courage to create, and
actually
mastery.
do the thing,
To actually
right? Yeah.
just do it now.
I'm sure that's similar for you, right? You work with so much materials and fabrics.
When people think about fashion and when it comes to mastery and craft, like craft is people would think about beadwork, embroidery, right? Craft when it comes to cutting of fabrics, pattern drafting, things like that. So that's craft, and that takes years to build up. Continuing the conversation about your practice as an artist, do you have any role models within your creative journey?
My mom and all my IJ friends, and the woman who just, no matter what, they just
Show up.
just show up and just chung, really just they just do it.
Yeah.
Once they're in my life, I know that there's somebody I can look up to, and
I think a community is very important to have and to be a part of. There's a lot of saying within the creative community or outside the creative community. It's important to have a bunch of really die-hard supporters, like your mother, and of course your friends. There's a saying, everybody wants to be in a village, but nobody wants to be a villager, right? So there's a lot of work that goes into building a community or building your village. And I'm so glad you have that village for you. And with that, we have come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, Carmen,
Thank
for
you.
sharing your experiences with us. And I cannot wait
To share a little bit more tea.
More.
Yes.
Yeah, spill a little bit more
We'll
tea with
spill a little
you.
bit more tea next
so
time.
please stay tuned for the next episode.
Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and share with your friends. You know what to do.
Bye.